everyone, welcome back to episode 3 of Paddy Does a One Bro, the Dragon's Dogma report. Welcome along. How you finding it? Is it good? Do you like it? More? Yeah, let's do some more. So, after the last session, we finished up at the Way Castle and had to go back to Gran Soren to get some stuff. So, slapped a bunch of goblins on the way and ended up back at Gran Soren. I decided to investigate the Pawn Guild, finally, as it would let me through. I spoke to a guy about his dead son. His name was Wilhelm. I think the son's name was Arnold. He said he needed a wake stone, which is a very rare item that lets you wake back up from the dead. He gave me 2 parts of one. I just needed 1 more, which is fine. I said, okay, I'll do that for you. While I was down there, decided to head on with the main quest, which is the Pawn Guild. Now, this is where the pawns, Goblin, who I murdered a very long time ago, and all the friends that I'm not going to take along with me, this is where they all live and congregate, and this is where all their stuff happens. They need my help. They told me to go look at the Everfall, a very important place in Gran Soren, underneath the main city. It is a key place where stuff happens later, but it's the first nose down. So, on to Everfall we go. Now, there's a lot of enemies in the Everfall. Firstly, spiders. And then there's some bats. And then there's some zombies. Hooray! And look, a gate. And then as we go around the side of the gate, some skeletons. Hooray! And then more zombies. And then, what else could we find? It's a troll. An ogre of some description. I think they're ogres in this game. What you will see here is my excellent stealth technique of walking behind him, and he doesn't notice. Fine. No, it worked. I'll take it. Pushing on past the very, very unobservant ogre, I went through endless zombies. Just a lot of zombies. There is a lot on the way down, and I found that this was a bit of a slog due to not having any fire weapon or any sort of mage assistance to help at all. This was just beating them to death with a bit of metal. Took a while. It took a while. I leveled up a couple times, but it did take a damn while. I decided when I got to the bottom to have a little look into a little side room rather than push straight in. I saw a little side area, so I went in. There's some harpies and wizard zombies. Or they were throwing something at me. They looked like spells. So had to head back up, get them dead. And then more undead, and then went down a corridor for a large chest, and then 7 or 8 more undead appeared out of the floor, and the camera started glitching, so I had to get out of there. But I can deal with undead now, they're not so bad. The biggest problem with them was grabbing me, because even like mid-move, the zombies will grab you and stop your move, and then you have to wiggle the left analog stick to get out. I wiggled a lot of stick in this section. I wiggled much stick. So once I was done with this area, nipped back out, found a sort of shortcut, back up to the top, but not really needed. So I went to the other side of the shortcut, which is a cage with stuff in. Turns out there's a skeleton hanging around in one of the coffins, and you just slap him. He's very easy, actually. I thought he was going to be sort of boss level, and he was easy. Popped in, grabbed what was in there, cut the bits of fashion, and decided to head back and look at the actual Everfall, the bottom of the Everfall. Grabbed the port crystal at the bottom of the floor, which is a very, very useful item. It is your only fast travel point I think you get. I think there's more because of the Dark Arisen version, but it's the only one you have for now. And I touched the light. And once you touch the light, all hell kicks off. Tentacle bros everywhere. I ran like the bejesus. I decided not to bother fighting them. I just ran. There were a lot of bats that were haranguing me the entire way up. That's a word. Haranguing me. I then remembered the troll, the ogre that I'd forgotten about. Just sat there. Tried the same tactic. It worked again. I'm not going to complain. So ran, got myself free, which wasn't actually that bad in the end, and escaped the Everfall. Had a spoke with the pawn guy, Barnaby. Didn't write that down. And I was then told Sir Duncan wanted a word. I'm now an official hunter of the Worm Hunt, so I'm allowed to go on big, important story quests now to earn the favour of the Duke of Gran Soren. So basically, I can become more famous and more popular. And they told me to go up to the castle and have a look. Before I did that, I decided to head back to the blacksmith.
The master works all, you can't go wrong.
Jiggle my equipment around, upgrade some stuff. And hey, look, I've got a hype man.
Given leave to travel the land by Duke Ebden himself, the Arisen takes up sword and shield to defend the honour of all.
So before hitting the castle, decided to go back down to the Everfall, if I could, to farm some skeletons and some undead, because while it was slow, I was doing alright and I was leveling up quite quickly. So I thought I'll try again. Turns out, when you go back down, there's not really any skeletons to speak of down there, or monsters other than bats and spiders. There's a couple of zombies, but the ogre was still there. And I thought, do you know what? I feel bad about that last run. I'm going to take the ogre on now instead. Which went okay. I was slabbing him and moving and it was fine. And then I invented a shortcut. I call this the ogre lift. And there you have it. So you jump on the monster, you hit him a few times, he falls off and dies, and you're okay because you land on his corpse. I didn't know you could do this. I wish I'd done this the first time. It's fine. So after getting on with that, leaving the area because there's nothing here to fight anymore, decided to go find out about the worm hunt. Picking up a load of quests to go on and crack on and do in the main game. These are very big story-based quests, which are like the next big things. I'm not going anywhere near them yet. Oh, no. I'm just doing side quests for the next few hours. Don't even. Before I could do anything, though, I was sidetracked by a shitty landlord. That's right, we're in the COVID times and landlords are trying to kick people out of their houses. What a dick. Fornival is a good seller of things, but he is a dick. He basically wants you to go find a family and evict them for him so you can sell the land for a profit. I chase the family down, I find a boy. It goes up on a roof, so I have to do a parkour to get the boy, and then I have to chase down and then grab that boy. I grabbed that boy. Family need time to think. I couldn't find the dad after a bit. I found him initially, and then I couldn't find him again afterwards, so I gave up for a bit and decided to go hunt for some iron to upgrade my sword. So I fought some more goblins for a while, and then realised after probably 20 minutes that they weren't dropping iron, they were dropping hunks of ore, which is not iron. So I gave up on that, went back to town. Luckily, found the man again, Jasper, the dad of the family that wants to be booted out. But he did want 30 grand of moving expenses, which I was a bit loath to pay, but I did. And found Fornival, who was happy about this and gave me a bit more money than I'd given the other guy. All in all, not a fun quest because I had to turf someone out of their house, and I was hoping there was a way around it where they didn't. But the only option was to buy the land for 80 grand, and no. So next up, I decided to try and find the Cult of Salvation, who are operating in Grand Soren. These are horrible, evil people. I believe the short hooded man, who I've yet to show in a video, are part of Salvation. So I received word that stuff was happening, so I decided to stalk. I found a blonde man in the dark, and I followed the blonde man using my Metal Gear skills, sneaking around, and then found him eventually meeting Madeline, who I thought was kind of cool, but is passing secret evil notes that she may not know about. And then she's all like, ooh, seducty on this horrible blonde man. You harlot, I trusted you, woman. So she's in the shit list now. That finished the quest off. I passed the message on, and more will come off that later. Then I decided I've got one Cyclops to go on a quest, so I thought I'll go see if that Cyclops that I fought on the last episode is still there, and I'll give him a go. I went and found the Cyclops, and whoops, I found another trick. I was trying to climb on him and cut his arm so he drops his weapon. I thought that might be a thing you can do. That turns out, if he's positioned right and you stab him in the arm enough, he stumbles and falls off the damn cliff. Free XP. You don't get the items for killing him that way, which is a shame. But free XP. So that's 2 stupid gravity kills that I've managed by accident in this episode. Very, very proud of myself. Next up, wanting to finish off a few quests that I've been kind of sitting on for a while. Decided to go back to the Witchwood. I could progress on through the main game at this point, but I just want to go finish off as many quests nearby that I can. So headed back to the Witchwood, battering bandits, battering them to pieces on the way, which was a lot of fun. Give Celine some herb, and she gives me some ale. I can't even remember the reason why, but it got done. Not complaining. Headed back to Cassidus after this to go check in on town. There turns out there's another quest back there which I wanted to go pick up. Stabbed a bunch of bunnies. I've got a quest to kill bunnies. Stabbed a bunch of bunnies. It's fine. And in the main town of Cassidus, I met a man called Merrin who was looking for a man called Valmiro who keeps wandering off and getting stuck in the woods and getting lost. So my new plan was to go and find Valmiro on the beach. And off I go to the beach. Arisen! Arisen! Can you, please, I just need a herb. Just one herb would be enough. There isn't. He can't hear me. He can't hear me. So I meet Valmiro passed out on the beach like a dick who wants a herb. I give him a herb to wake him back up.
Really?
Pick him up and he decides to thank me and says he's off to the encampment instead. So I then follow him around and I give him more herbs to try and wake him back up. And then he goes off to the Witchwood where I just was. I wish I'd done this before. And he nearly fell down again. But I saved him and I convinced him to go back home. And I'll finish that quest off another time. But convinced him to go back home, which was fine. And decided while I was in the area to go over to the castle because I was under the impression there was a quest I could pick up from Maul from the castle. I nearly died about the whole time in this bit. I took on far too many bandits at once. I wasn't paying attention to the archers. I was just getting my shit kicked. I think I was fighting somewhere in the region of 8 to a dozen at a time. And even separating them out one by one and trying to draw them away from the encampment, I was still taking a lot of damage. You can see my health bar is not very big. When you take damage in Dragon's Dogma, your maximum health reduces a little bit as well. This was down to about a quarter of its main size, so I spent a lot of time in, blood mode with the screen all red. I didn't want to spend too many green warishes to heal myself because I thought I was running out. But anyway, I managed to make it to the castle somehow. Picked up a quest from Maul, who wanted me to take care of some bandits, or a deserter, who I think I know who the deserter is. I think I've chased him down before. Crawl back to Cassidus with just blood oozing from every pore. Find the nearby town, the nearby inn, and go to sleep. So yeah, I think I got a lot done. In this episode, I finished off some story quests, I did some side quests, I made some friends, and I nearly died super hard. Like, super hard. I hadn't saved in ages before that either, so I nearly wasted a lot of my own time. Next time, we are going to be finishing off some quests in town, Valmiro and this deserter, and seeing where the wind takes me. I imagine by this time next week we will be heading on to the main quest again. We'll see. I've got 4 different quests I can pick from, so we will see where we go. Thank you all for watching this next episode of Paddy Does a One Bro, the Dragon's Dogma Report. It's been lovely having you all here. I hope you're enjoying yourselves, and I will see you all next week. Goodbye!